Hello everyone. So here we are on the second episode of Man Ki Baat. So I'll wait if there are others of you who want to join in. Otherwise, this video will be saved and you can watch in my stories for a little longer. Okay? So a little brief again. I am a consultant psychiatrist from Noida and I'm really passionate about talking about mental health issues, the issues that affect our mind, our health of the mind. And I want to talk about it. I want people who are on Instagram and others also to ask these queries which they are apprehensive about asking. So it could be related to your relationships, it could be related to something at work, some stress that you're facing, maybe some problem that you feel you're stuck in. You can ask me those issues, and I'll give you some scientific, evidence based advice on all of them. Okay, so as I'd already told that I'm going to host this session, I have got a few DM queries that I'll be starting with, and a few queries got left out in the last session. I'll be handling them as well. Okay, so let's stick to the time and we'll be starting with it. So the first query that I have is actually that's the query that I have received from 2-3 people. So I'll be clubbing them and I'll be talking about this issue first. I'll not be taking any names like last time. It will be confidential, and maybe some of you who didn't ask about it, maybe if you connect with it, you can get something out of it as well. That's my motto. So this query is basically by a mother, and she wants to know that after having a baby, due to some circumstances, she has stopped working, and everybody else in the family is working. So how can she come out of this situation? This is a query that in some form or other I have received from other people as well. Okay, so this is for all the mothers. So let's discuss this. So see, when you have a kid, especially in today's world, for women, world changes drastically. For men as well, but since even now, the major responsibility of parenthood still lies on women. So, world changes for them drastically. Due to these situations and due to the changing circumstances in which the joint family setup is breaking, most of the couples are working and they are living alone, and grandparents are also working. So, in those circumstances, what happens is that the woman has to leave her job. Okay, so for some women, it's a choice that they make willingly, and for some, it's like there is no other way, so they have to do it. So, how do you go about in this situation? What do you do? So, my advice is that first and foremost, stay true to your personality. So there are some people who I see, and there are some people, and I really appreciate it, that they are happy being a stay-at-home mom and they choose this for themselves and they want to do it. So it's good. If you have that choice and you are true to your personality, it's totally fine. However, if you're not that kind, if you can't feel that you're doing justice to yourself by staying at home, you need to take some actions. You need to take steps towards what you really want, right? So, in the initial part, when the baby is too young, I'll advise that you can do something part time, or maybe if it's not feasible, just give yourself some time to heal to come back to normalcy. Give that time to your body, give that time to your mind to settle around it, to settle this new balance that has come into your family. Secondly, please talk to your spouses. In especially in today's world, both the partners are working. The spouse needs to help, right? And there are wonderful, wonderful men out there who are taking equal responsibilities. I'm not saying equal, I'm just asking about some sharing, some kind of sharing needs to be there. So the husband or the partner needs to understand that he has a working partner, right? So both of them need to chip in. Both of them need to divide the responsibilities in some way. If that happens, many women are able to get back to their work. I'd recently read, that bearing a child shouldn't be a penalty for motherhood, right? Like it shouldn't become a punishment for you that you're not able to return back to work. So first and foremost, you need the support of your spouse. So you need to talk to him, and I'm sure that they'll understand. If they don't, then what to do? So then that brings you to you yourself. First and foremost, you should work on yourself physically, because motherhood is a journey that changes you physically a lot, right? So give that time to your body so that it can heal. You start feeling well again, you start feeling better, you feel energetic, your mind feels at peace. And this is a little human that you have to care for, so it's difficult, isn't it? So give yourself that time. Don't enter into that competition that, see, that person has returned back to work. If you start comparing, that will breed a lot of dissatisfaction in you, right? So it has to be your journey. Remember, everybody's journey is different. Maybe you are a different mother and you have a different journey, and you'll reach a different goal. So never, never ever compare yourself. See what suits you and what suits your family, and then decide. Okay? So initial part, I'll advise that give some time for yourself. You need to understand. After that, as the baby starts growing up and you start understanding your motherhood, you start getting comfortable, you start feeling comfortable in the skin of a new mother, and then you begin to venture out. So many queries are like, how do we know what we want to do? Or I'm not able to understand from where to start. So dear, that is the most difficult part, the point from where to start. But the fact is that many people stop at that point itself. That is the problem. So you need to at least take that step. You need to at least start somewhere. And how do you know from where to start? So there's a very, very simple thing that I'll tell you. Open your phone. See, what do you search the most? In the past month, what did you search most? What was your interest? What excites you? What is the thing of which you take the most photographs? Could be your son or daughter, or maybe food excites you. So, and then I want you to start working on it. Maybe you can start doing something around it, right? So that's how you find your interest. So if that's interesting to you, or maybe you are looking at a lot of fitness blogs, so maybe that is your niche, so that's your calling. So you need to find that calling, and it needn't be a very big thing, it needn't be very exciting, and that can be the starting point. So at least start. Don't think that as soon as you start, you'll start making 5 figures or 6 figures. That shouldn't be the aim. Initially, after being a mother, your aim should be that you want to return back to that life, but not as the previous person, but as a better person now, right? So now you are a mother, but a working mom. So it's going to be different. And by different, I don't mean it's going to be awful. By different, I mean to say that it's going to be wonderful and maybe better than before. Okay? So this is, first you find your interest, and second, you start taking baby steps. The problem is that many a times women get stuck in this feeling of helplessness, right? They know that there are situations, and I'm not saying that your situation isn't difficult, it is, but there are many who are still able to come out of it, and the only difference between those who come out of the situations and those who aren't is the fact that they act on it. Okay, so action is the only difference. And where does this action come from? When you don't feel helpless. So suppose if I am a new mom and I'm stuck in a situation where my husband doesn't understand, my in-laws don't understand, and I'm not financially independent, it's bound to breed some helplessness in me. That's for sure. But if I get stuck in that cycle of helplessness, so helplessness means that I'm not going to take any action to change, because I have this belief that nothing is going to change, nothing that I do is going to change anything, right? And that's where, my dear friends, you lose the battle. So the first thing that you have to do is accept in your own self that yes, this can be changed. Maybe it's difficult, but it's possible. And what makes it possible? Your baby steps. So like your baby, I'll be getting back to that query, Shilpa, just give me some time. Okay, so like your baby starts taking little steps, you have to take little steps with him. So start making little goals for you, maybe for this week, that okay, maybe I'll search my interest, or maybe I'll read more blogs about it, right? And maybe for the next week it can be, maybe I'll write something about it, or maybe I'm going to meet this one person, or maybe I'm going to talk to this one person, right? So I always say that, and I've read it somewhere, it's not mine, but it's a very very nice quote, that failure to plan is actually planning to fail. So if you don't plan, you're bound to fail, my dears. So you need to at least plan. Okay, so plan, start acting on it, little steps, come out of this helplessness. There are many inspirations around you. You just need to open your eyes and see. Okay, there are many. Life isn't easy for anybody. Rich people have their own struggles, poor people have their own struggles, middle class has their own struggles, but it's just about your own attitude. Okay, so at least I want that through this video, this is a shout out to all the mothers out there who are feeling very helpless after having this baby, that they are stuck and they are not able to move and carve a career path for themselves, but they want to. Number one, you need to want it. Okay, so but you want to, so I need you to take the first step and DM me what was that first step that you took, right? Instead of feeling that no, this is not possible, I won't be able to come out of it, I just want you to take that first tiny little step, and I'm there with you in it. And just DM me, and inspiration will spread. Inspiration will always be contagious. So you need to take that first step, you need to plan, and you need to come out of it. It's definitely possible. Okay, here I'd like to share a little story about myself. Maybe it's a little personal, that I'm a doctor. So even when I had my daughter, so we both are a working couple, and my husband is fantabulous. He's like totally supportive of me, and he always used to push me that okay, you need to start getting into full-fledged practice. But somehow I realized along the journey that I am that kind of person that I didn't want to leave my daughter in a daycare. So I did what very few people do, and thanks to my hubby for that, I joined work, and my daughter goes with me every day to the work with me. So maybe some people will think that it's not right, but at least I did justice to myself. At least I did justice to what I believe in, my beliefs. I wanted to be working, but I also wanted to be a full-time mom. So is it difficult? Yes, it is. But is it satisfying? Yes, it is. So you need to at least start doing that, right? So take that first step. Tell me what was that first step that you took towards your goal, and plan it. And I hope that I could inspire you through this. This is for all the mothers, so don't feel helpless. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, so before the second query, Shilpa has asked me that how to make a 1-year baby eat food sitting at one place. It's very simple, Shilpa. Just remember how our parents used to give us food. For all the moms in today's world, I just tell them that go back to how your parents used to do the parenting. Our parents were perfect experts in parenting, I think. The problem with us is that we know a lot, and we are too aware of everything, of the ideals, of the norms, and baby is acting perfectly normal. He's acting like a baby. Problem is that we are not acting like a normal mom. We are very paranoid, isn't it? At least I feel so, that all the knowledge just makes us paranoid. So it's very simple, very commonsensical. Number one, have adequate gaps between the meals. Let them feel the hunger. I have done a lot of mistakes with my daughter, despite the fact that I'm an expert and I know a lot of things, and that is motherhood. We are supposed to make mistakes and learn from it, right? So, the first and foremost thing is that the baby should feel hungry. It's your anxiety that you keep on feeding the baby again and again, thinking that, oh, khaya nahi hai, oh, he must be hungry, she must be hungry, right? So, give adequate time. Let the hunger come in, and when the hunger will come, baby is going to eat it. That's guaranteed. We are humans, as a species, animal kingdom. We are supposed to eat when we feel hungry. That's impulsive, that's instinctive, right? Secondly, give a lot of physical activity to the kid. That's the major predictor of hunger. So if the baby is working out, if the baby is active, he's bound to feel hungry. Thirdly, don't distract the baby while eating. If these seeds are sown properly in the early part of the childhood, the baby is definitely going to grow up into an adult who's going to love her food, or his food. I'm using her a lot because I have a daughter, so she's going to love her food much more. Okay, so these are very commonsensical things. There is physical activity, there is adequate gaps between the meals. Give the baby what you eat. No fancy items like avocado coming from somewhere else. No, nothing is needed. If you're eating khichdi, give him khichdi. If you're eating dal rice, these things will basically help you in the long run, right? So give the baby what you are eating. What you eat is best for him. Give him every seasonal thing, all the seasonal things that come. Let him taste, expose his palate to a lot of new things, right? You're saying that baby is 1 year old, so yes, you can start the cow milk also if you're not breastfeeding. This is a major mistake that a lot of moms do. So you're not supposed to, after an year of age, you're not supposed to give a lot of milk. That's going to kill the hunger. You drink a glass of milk and tell me that, can you eat food over that? I'm sure we can't, right? But with babies, we are very like, oh, they need to eat it, huh? So something like, can we give refrigerated food? No. Think practical. We are working, or even if you are a stay-at-home mom, you do your best. I'm not saying that never give refrigerated food. If possible, if you can, give the baby fresh food if you can cook. Okay, and if it's not, then I always say be practical. So whatever floats your boat. So, but the baby is going to eat any kind of food if he's hungry. So, and one more thing I want to say, that don't convert your kitchen into a restaurant. It's not a restaurant. So if the baby is not eating something, don't cook anything else for him. Let the hunger set in. Okay. So how much cow's milk should be given in a day? Okay, after an year of age, basically till 1 year of age, iron supplies are good inside the baby. But after 1 year of age, milk hampers the iron absorption in the food. So you should give milk not more than 2 times. That includes the milk that you are using to cook. And this is against a lot of traditional wisdom. So all the grandparents are like, nahi, doodh pilao, you have to give more milk, right? All the grandparents are behind it. So that's what comes in our mind also. But scientifically, not more than 2 times, because if you give it more than that, baby will not feel hungry. Also, don't give too much night feeds, because when the baby gets up, he's not hungry, he's already full. So you'll be like, oh, he's not taking the breakfast. Well, how will he take? He has such tiny tummy and it's already full with milk, right? So let the hunger set in. I'll say work on your anxieties. All the moms, you need to work on your anxieties, because the baby is being perfectly fine. He'll eat see, I told you about the grandparents, right? The grandparents believe that the milk is really important. At 16 months to 2 years, how much should be milk intake? Same dear. After 1 year, only 2 times. Okay, it can be less also if the baby doesn't want to drink. It's okay, milk based things can be given, but now is the time that he should shift to 3 meals a day, the major 3 meals and 2 snacks in between, right? And it has to be homemade, fresh, seasonal, local, no fancy item needed. Give him like we eat. Family that eats together stays together. I'm a big fan of Rujita Divekar, so if you want, I can give you a gist of all her books. I just love what she says, because when I read those books, it reminds me of what my mom used to do and what all other aunties used to do near me. So I think they were all experts. Our moms and our aunties were already doing everything correctly. So uh, I think you should follow what our moms used to do. So they were never behind us ki khao 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 khao. They used to give us ki okay, 3 meals, when they are hungry you'll eat, right? So my child wants milk every time to sleep. This is an association. This is basically the problem of association. When baby is taking milk every time that baby is sleeping, so this is an association. If you want to break an association, basically you have to put in better associations and wean him off. So that can be done gradually. Some kids are basically breastfeeding when they go to sleep, or some are basically bottle feeding. So that's the problem of association. Okay. My 16-month doesn't take cow milk. Okay. Also, she doesn't eat anything for 2 hours after she wakes up. That's perfectly fine. You don't need to worry. If she wakes up and she doesn't want to eat, every kid is different, and I don't think anybody feels hungry immediately after getting up. So maybe your kid is trying to tell you that, Mama, don't feed me for 2 hours, and after 2 hours, if you give me adequate activity, I'm going to devour everything that you're going to serve me. So Sonal, my advice is that try for 2-3 days. Maybe you can try that when the baby gets up for 2 hours, you can take her out and let her play, let her get exhausted, and then when she comes back, then serve him and see. Anything, see, I always say that you can do one thing. Try for a week. Take the pre-week weight and take the post-week weight. I'm sure there will be no weight loss, so you don't need to worry. There'll nothing will happen in a week, but at least you will get the confidence. So for a week, you can try this. Okay, in the morning. Just a second. Okay, hello. Just a second. Okay, so in the morning, you can take her out. Okay, am I live? Got disrupted. Okay, so just try that for a week and get back to me. Tell me how it went. Maybe she's not hungry. Most of the kids are not. Okay, weight gain tips for 3-year-old kid. Okay, so first and foremost, mommy, weight gain shouldn't be the aim. Uh, Pardon me if I'm being little rude or if I sound harsh, but that's the reality. Weight gain shouldn't be your aim. Similarly, weight loss shouldn't be the aim for us also. Okay, the aim should be a healthy kid, a fit kid. So weight is not a parameter for health and fitness. What is that the child is curious, child is active, child is not obese, child is not underweight, and child shows active interest in learning. That you can see if the child is healthy or not, right? He's getting up, his sleep cycles are okay, he's eating, is happy while eating, not the amount, because amount is something that we decide. So it's not what the kid needs. So number first, the aim shouldn't be weight gain. It should be fit and healthy. Then again, same things that I've told. Aim for the food that you eat regularly. So give him the food that you cook regularly, something that's seasonal, something that's local, and try to eat it fresh every time. Use ghee. Ghee is good. Milk should be only 2 times a day. There are get back to your roots. Like in winters, you can go back to laddus, that we used to devour on laddus. No junk food, no tidbits in between the meals. So if you stuff the baby with biscuits or namkeen कि यार कुछ कुछ खाया नहीं, चलो कुछ तो खा ले करके, तो फिर he's not going to feel hungry at meal times, right? So 3 main meals, 2 little snacks, and somebody asked me how much fruits to give. So maybe these 2 snacks that you give in between, they can be fruits. Okay, so 2 times, if you're giving fruits, that's okay, good. Then try to mix and match. So like you can make dry fruit powder, and you can make sevia for the kids that we used to eat. And don't give Maggie. Instead of Maggie, you give sevia. And in a sevia, you can mix some dry fruit powder, right? Same way you can make laddus. You use a lot of ghee. The most important thing is that baby should love food. When he sees food, he should be like, okay, I want to eat this. So this culture you want to inculcate in the child, right? A lot of moms are concerned about their baby food, right? So this just shows that we are so anxious about their food. Even I won't say that I am not, but I'm working on it. I give Maggie once in 45 days. That's okay. That's okay. you can do that. Okay, so sorry, I got disconnected. Am I live? Okay, so you give Maggie once in 5 days, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. It's okay. I'm saying that it shouldn't be a norm. If possible, don't give anything that's processed. Instead of Maggie, try to give Sevia. My daughter loves it. I love it. That's why I gave it to her. So that's because I eat Maggie for my lunch. No, Sonal, please don't eat Maggie for your lunch. That's not healthy. So, uh, yes, so instead of Maggie, you can try Sevia, that's semolina, that you can try, and you can make it salty and just see if your kid loves it. I see maida and all, they are not good for the baby, especially these processed foods, they are zero in nutrition quotient. So if your baby is taking that once, so he will be full, but nothing is going in his bloodstream. No nutrition is going in his bloodstream, right? So you need to focus on the healthy alternative. So just make it a way of life. So if you are not eating, see, for me it's easy because in our house, you can say that we are doctors, that's why this is there, but hardly any junk comes. Like, I don't buy Maggie. I never used to buy. I have eaten it in my college times, and I'm sure my daughter is going to do that too when she grows up. But I don't bring it, so she doesn't see and she's not enticed. So there are things that are out of my control. When she grows up, she's going to do a lot of things I have also done. But till she's under me, I can at least give her a culture that appreciates food, right? So that as a parent you should do, and that's the best thing I think you can give to your kid, right? So any more queries about baby food? Okay, can we make home food and freeze it like chicken tikkis? Again, I'll say this depends on the practicality and the feasibility. What is ideal is that if you can give fresh food to the baby, I also feel that at least till they are. This is very arbitrary, but this is my opinion that every kid deserves a wonderful childhood, a wonderful childhood. Every kid deserves a childhood that he can always cherish, he can always go back to. So if it's possible and it just makes you a little uncomfortable, then please give them the best. But if that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you unhappy, then there is no point, right? You need to be a happy parent at the end of the day for your baby, and the baby will be happy too. So see the practicality. Yes, you can freeze, but try to, like, it shouldn't be very stale. So try to give as much fresh food as possible for you practically, right? So okay, we have been talking about baby food since so long. I had another query. Are there more queries about baby food? You can ask me. Otherwise, I'll proceed to the another query that I have received in my personal message. So I have received a query about. Actually, there are three queries about the same issue about managing your anger, or you're getting angry easily, or you're getting frustrated easily, right? So anybody getting frustrated easily over here? Otherwise, I'll talk about it. Okay, so what happens is basically, why do we get angry? The reason is that there is something always bothering us. It could be the most common cause of getting angry easily and getting frustrated easily with our partners, maybe, or on our kid, is stress. So anything that is creating a lot of demand on you, right? So you are expected to do this much in this much time, so that's stress. And I'm sure that that's what we're expected to do as a mother, right? So most of the time the reason for anger is stress. There are other reasons too that can be there, like sleep problems. If you're not getting good nice sleep, if you're not feeling rested, if you are suffering from maybe some mood problems like depression, if you're not feeling healthy, that can be the reason of anger. So first and foremost, you need to understand what is the reason that you're feeling angry. Okay, if you understand it, the reason of your anger, then you can work on it. So how do you proceed? Like, if you are getting angry on your partner maybe a lot, so how do you proceed? So number first, you understand the reason, because if you don't, you'll keep on displacing it to everybody else. So if you are frustrated with your work, maybe, or if you are frustrated with your online things, maybe, you can't get back to that, so you are going to put it on your partner or maybe your kid. That's what every human does. That's our tendency, and that's natural. Everybody does it, but they don't know about it. So we usually, like, we are frustrated at work, we bring it home and we take it out on our partners, and that just spoils the relationship, right? So you need to understand where this frustration is coming from. What is the reason of this anger? For that, you need to be aware of your thoughts, of your feelings. So you need to spend a little time with yourself before sleeping, maybe just 4-5 minutes, and just see what went on in your day and just note it down, what bothered you maybe, and what you're feeling angry about. Secondly, when you're feeling angry, don't react, instead of it, respond. I made a post about it also, so I'll be explaining it, that reaction basically comes out impulsively. It is very impulsive. It comes out of our hidden emotions, our insecurities maybe, and we get angry, right? But response is something that we do after analyzing the situation, and that's what we do logically. So I want you to respond and not react. So, like, I'll just give a example. It's a cooked up example. So if your husband comes back home and he forgets to maybe bring something that you asked, so you get angry, but maybe you're not getting angry because he didn't bring you that thing. You are getting angry because you feel that he doesn't love you anymore, or you aren't his priority. So see from where the anger is coming from. It's not coming from the little mistake that he did. It's coming from the feeling of insecurity that's inside you, right? So you need to understand where it is coming from, and then you need to work on it. Okay. So number one is being aware. Number second is responding and not reacting. Number third is, whenever you are angry, cut yourself off from that situation for some time, right? So if you are same example I'll be taking again, like with your husband, you got irritated. Now, if you are aware that you're getting irritated and you're going to say or do something that's going to be hurtful, just cut yourself. Research has proved that even a 30-second break can change your reaction a lot. So just go in the kitchen, drink your water, or maybe just go to the washroom, look at yourself in the mirror. Okay, so cut yourself from the situation. The hormones that lead to anger, the chemicals that are released in the body that lead to anger, will just calm down. And then you can come back and you'll see that the response will be different. This is especially true for when you are fighting with somebody on your phone, or maybe over messaging. It's so widespread now, right? So you need to cut yourself off. Take some time. Just give your body that time, so that you calm down and you cool down, and then you can think from your analytical mind instead of your emotional mind. So the response shouldn't be emotionally, it should be coming out from your analytical mind. Then you'll never repent it and you'll never regret it, right? So that's what I want to say about anger. If you're getting okay, I used to get angry when his actions are in wrong way. Whenever I be strict to him, his grandparents will try to support him, so he takes advantage here. Okay, so you're talking about your how to handle you're talking about your spouse, right? So see, again, does reacting in an angry way solve your problem? I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's just making you feel worse about yourself, and you want to be more in control of the situation, right? We feel angry when we feel that the situation is going out of our control. We all are control freaks. We want control in every situation. That's how humans are. That's how human psychology works. But if you react this way, it's going to go even out of your control. So again, I can see that in this situation you're feeling helpless. Instead of that, see, you always have the freedom to choose. Nobody can take that away from you. So if talking in a polite way, I'm not saying that don't put your point across. Do put your point across, but be respectful. Respect the limits of the other person, and don't say or do something that you're going to repent or regret later. So do it in a very respectful manner. Put your point across, set your boundaries, and then you can just go back, because you can't control the other person. What you can control is you, your emotions, right? So even if they support him, even if the in-laws or the grandparents are supporting him, or you feel cornered, the problem is that you feel cornered. If you don't feel affected, how are they going to bother you? They can't, right? So it's more than that. It's your attitude that matters. Okay, so I'll advise that you work on yourself. Number one, don't get angry much. If you get angry, cut yourself off from the situation. If you cut yourself off of the situation, then try to come back and respond, and in a very positive and constructive manner. So if they see your composure, if they see that you aren't affected, they're not going to go after it for a very long time. And these things don't matter in the long run. What matters is how you feel at the end of the day, and your relationship with your spouse. It shouldn't be dominated by what others do and what others don't do. That brings me to the Valentine's week that I'm celebrating on my Instagram page. It's not a giveaway, it's a very simple, fun way to celebrate Valentine's week, and I'm just giving simple prompts. Why it's necessary? Because it's really, really necessary to express your love. And in our busy lives, with kids and work and ambitions and desires, we sometimes forget that there were simple things that really matters, the little things that matter. So join me in my Valentine's week, and just let yourself loose. Even I'm a very private kind of person. I usually don't talk about my personal life, but after being a mother, I feel more grounded. I found my feet, and I think I can share more. So just try doing that. It's wonderful. It gives you immense confidence, and sometimes it's just necessary to say things. So if you were waiting for something, this is it. Join my love week, and even if you don't post a pic, just at least in your personal life, do something that reminds you and your spouse that you both love each other. That's why you are together, right? So I think I've talked about most of the things, and it's half hour. Anything else that you want to ask? I'll be signing off after this. Please write the query if you have. I'll just take quickly one or two more queries if you have. Otherwise, I'll be signing off. And if you like this Man Ki Baat and you want this to continue, please give me your feedback. If you want something that I should talk about, please give me your feedback. I'm really passionate about talking about these things, and I read a lot. I'm an avid reader. That's why I want to share all of this. Thoughts are nothing if they are not shared. I've planned for gifting my... Oh, very good, very good. See, we just need a little push. We all need... thank you, MKP. So this is my little initiative to basically give it back to the society. I come from a very humble background, but I just want to give it back to the society. Not everybody can come to clinics, but internet is a wonderful thing. I can reach everywhere. So please give me your feedback. Please give me topics if you want me to talk about something. I am a very fast reader. I read 5 books at a time, and my husband really laughs at it that I'm reading 5 books at the same time, but that's how I've been since all my life. If there's something that I don't know, I'll read about it and get back to you, but I'll get back to you. So consider me a mentor, your friend. If you are in trouble, you can ask me anything. DM me. I'm going to get back to you on Man Ki Baat session. Okay? So, okay, then I'll be signing off. It was wonderful talking to you, and as always, I feel very satisfied after holding these sessions. Do give me your feedback so that I'm encouraged. Okay, guys, bye.